We're here with members of the Babson College men's basketball team who just lost 88-76 to Amherst College in the third round of the NCAA Division III men's basketball championship. From left to right, we have Joey Flannery, Coach Brennan, and Bradley Jacks. Coach, if you could open with some comments about the game.
Sure. Well, obviously, congratulations to Amherst on the win. I think there was a game of runs. They started the game off and they built a pretty decent lead. I thought that early on we were a little tight and didn't make a couple of plays we normally do as far as around the basket and some open looks. But as we got more comfortable and started to defend better, I thought our game plan was good. They made 5 threes in the first half out of 14, and they're a high-powered three-point shooting team. And one of the threes was a bank three, and one of the others was a shot clock three. So we felt like holding them to 5 out of 14 from the arc in the first half was about where we wanted to be. The fact that we were able to get 39 points and be up 2 at the half, we felt really good going into the half. We felt that we were in good shape. And I think in any Babson Amherst game, it is a game of runs, but it's also a situation where, Amherst always has great firepower, and you have to not get into a trade the basket situation. And I thought that, they came out, I think they scored either 4 or 6 of the first points in the second half. And I thought at points, we got away from what we were doing to be successful on both ends of the floor. And as the half ensued, we struggled to score the way we did in the first half. But that being said, I think that we're really proud of our guys for our effort. Getting to the Sweet 16 was certainly something that we had as a goal. And we lost to obviously a really good program and a good team and a well-coached group. And I think the thing that gets lost about our team is that it took us a semester to develop our identity this year as to who we are now as opposed to what we were last year. And our group had to grow into what we are now. And I thought that one of the keys to that is Travis Sheldon, who's not here. He doesn't get enough credit for the culture we've built and the work ethic and what goes on in our program. He's number one. He came in the game at the end of the game. He's battled injuries over the course of his career, and he's still battling injuries as he is, but he came in and knocked down a 3. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention him in this press conference because he's the prime reason we're here. 4 years ago we were a 4-5 team in the NUMAC, and now we've won 2 straight NUMAC championships, gone to the Final Four, and got to the Sweet 16. We were one of 3 teams that was in the Sweet 16 back-to-back years. So, kudos to Travis Sheldon.
Questions?
What was the difference for Amherst really in the second half? Again, 51 points. I don't recall seeing you guys at all this year, giving up 51 second half points. But what did you see from your end? It looked like they were really cutting really well and finding finding the holes in the lane.
I thought that there was 2 parts to it. One, I thought when they went off the ball screen, they did a really good job driving at the strong side where they spaced 2 guys away, and one or both of those guys cut back door. And when you're in the ball screen situation, you're trying to help so that Jay Dawson doesn't turn the corner or Berman doesn't turn the corner. And when you go to help and your guy back cuts you, it's hard to make that decision whether to give up the 3 in the corner to Racy or to get back to your guy. So I think that was one adjustment. They did a great job. I think the other thing is they went a little bit more inside in the second half than they did in the first half. The first play of the game of the second half, they had a ball screen to a throwback and got George an easy duck-in situation. So I just thought they shot a higher percentage because they pounded inside a little bit more. I think the other side of it was, I think at points we were pressing because we were not making shots. I thought that, one of the things that we've gotten better at is handle and drive and kick and then sink into the weak side block. Well, we gave up 3 layups on non-sink situations, and obviously that's going to kill your percentage, as far as defensive stops. And then there was other times we did a good job. So I think that, the things that hurt us throughout the game, we gave up 8 points in the first half on our bounce plays that we're usually very good at. And I think that in the second half, we were very inconsistent guarding basket cutters and being able to, handle the low post. And ultimately the second chance shots I thought were the difference in the half, was that, we fought but didn't fight hard enough, and you tip your hat to them.
Coach, it's always, a problem when a player of Joey's caliber sustains an injury within a game, but it happened to happen tonight at the moment you seem to be playing your best ball the whole night and right before the half. So when you go into the locker room with that kind of hanging over the room, what did you say to your team to try to address that?
You know, one of the great things that happened to this group is we had to deal with adversity throughout the year. Bradley was out for 10 days with a concussion, and as was Isaiah, and we played last weekend without Joey. So we're kind of a no-excuse group. I mean, as much as we felt really good, you know, when Joey was out there and was doing a good job, we went in the locker room up, you know, 39-37. We felt we were right where we wanted to be, and we felt like the right guys were shooting for them. And so I thought we had really good energy going in the locker room. You know, it didn't really translate in the second half. I didn't think our energy was where it needed to be successful. And, you know, I think that was a huge piece of why we're the first press conference today.
Tell me a little about the gentleman to your left here, Coach Bradley. Just really played, I mean, you know, just the heart and soul in that second half, just the way that he was just going in the lane for second chance, either rebounds or just, you know, it just really seemed like he was just exerting the effort. And Bradley, if you want to kind of just, you know, talk about just kind of stepping up with, you know, Joey being out and obviously coming in too.
Do you want me to or?
Whatever you want.
Why don't you speak?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's just like we were playing hard. We went down, I think 7 or 8, and it's just, I mean, everybody wanted to play hard. Nobody really wanted to lose. And I mean, first half I sat just a good amount, and then so I knew I had to like come in. I had to play a little bit harder, play defense a little bit more better. But I mean, we just had a couple lapses here and there, but I mean, I just wanted to come out, play hard, and do my best defensively. I know offensively, everything was there. We just didn't really hit shots, make too much. So.
Yeah, as far as Bradley goes, I mean, you know, like he was an impact player as a first year. You know, and he played a lot of minutes last year and came off the bench. This year he earned the starting role. And you know, to be honest with you, like he's had some phenomenal games. He had 28 against Emerson. He had 30 up at Bowdoin. So you know, we were excited to see him have some really good production in the second half and start to make the shots that weren't going, and then he got in foul trouble in the first half. So I think the thing about Brad is we ask him to do a lot defensively, and his energy defensively, but more importantly, he's the backbone of our defense. Like he always talks, he always handles the ball screens, and he's always looking to cover for others. And you know, when he went out with the 2 fouls, you know, I think that took a little of the wind out of our sails for a little bit in the first half.
Joey, you seemed to know right away when you went down how bad the ankle had gotten, and we didn't see you come out for the initial warm-up for the second half, and then you came out and you were kind of leaning on the chair for a few minutes. It must have been tough to watch their lead grow while you were off. How were you able to decide that you wanted to go again and just when you could get yourself back in?
Yeah, I was just testing it out, beginning the second half, kind of went in the hallway, saw what I could do on it, and tried to get it as loose as I could. And thought I got to a point where I was able to go out there and you know, I thought I'd be able to help out. Wasn't able to do enough, but yeah, I was kind of waiting for it to loosen up a little bit.
Hey, Coach, when you had the first matchup against these guys in the first semester, it was obviously a great game, but like you said, the team had been struggling to find its identity up to that point. I know it's immediate, but as you look back at the season a little bit, was that first matchup a turning point to the success that you ended up having this year?
You know, I think it was a piece of it, you know, because I think that, you know, we knew we could play at an elite level by playing a double overtime game with them, you know. But I think that it was really, you know, we lost 4 out of 5 games, and I think that was when we really started to turn the corner and understand what we needed to do with this group to, you know, become a better defensive team. You know, I think we scored the ball so much better than we did last year, but we had to learn how to play better defense. And I think that those 4 games were really the difference in us becoming who we are today. And obviously Amherst was a piece of it. You know, we lost them on December 10th, and then we didn't play again until New Year's Eve, so it was a long time to sit with it. And, you know, it's hard to, you know, think that that was the seminal point, because, you know, it took a while to get past exams, and these guys have short memories, as you know. So.
And I'll just piggyback on that if I can. You've been talking in your interviews throughout the year about how this was really a 2-year endeavor with this group, because you're keeping the entire rotation, you know, Travis accepted, together into next year. Can you just kind of put tonight in context, given that it is a 2-year window that you're looking at with these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to look ahead. I mean, I think that, this group now has to, really get back to work, and take some time this week to school vacation or holiday break. And then they got to decide that they're going to recommit to trying to get back here. And it's really hard to win, I mean, I think we're 32 in the league, and, it's like you got a target on your back, and we learned this year how to play against everybody's best every night. I hope that we take that and build on it. But, it's going to be a new year. We'll have some new pieces, as far as the first years will come in. So, I think that for right now, we're just going to stick with this group and, again, be thankful that Travis was able to carry us as far as he did. And again, feel very blessed to be 23-6. And, like you said, I don't take this for granted. I mean, try and soak it in, but it hurts a lot, when you lose. And it hurts, anytime the season ends, it hurts. But to lose in the Sweet 16 when you're a weekend away from going to the Final Four and actually knowing what that means, until you get there, you don't know what it means, So I think that we certainly felt like we wanted to get there again. And to say that and then go out and do it are two different things.
I was going to just ask one more last question. I mean, I was at that game where you guys put a scare in WPI. So can you just talk about just I know Travis, obviously, as you mentioned, I know he battled then, but you guys before these two gentlemen showed up. I mean, that game, you gave Chris Bartley and the Engineers a scare that day. So and Travis played his heart out, but just kind of maybe just any final words on Travis. And obviously you got a few more weeks before Travis graduates, but just a little more on Travis.
I think that it's one of those things where, like I told these guys after the game, good things come in small packages. And, Travis is one of those guys who, he's blessed with a winning shot his first game. He just never played with fear. And, it was one of those things where you get to play a ton as a freshman, and then sophomore year, he started to deal with the injuries a little bit. But, he played against WPI and basically played 40 minutes at the point, and, we had a chance to finish them off, and, shot one up, and, with 1.2 seconds left that I remember, but, Zach Corrales got the rebound and put it through. So, it's one of those things where to see, how far we've come as a group, and to know that he was a lightning rod for that, that's where you feel blessed. Just high character guy.
And Bradley, I'll just ask you, because this team lost a ton in the front court, as you know, with David Mack and with John Wicke last year. And you and Isaiah were able to really fill that void and let this team continue to be a very competitive team that could beat very good opposition. What can you tell me about the two of you and the relationship that you have with Isaiah, and how you were able to man the front court so well this year?
I think we had a really good relationship, just like from the first day he came on campus. We've meshed ever since. I mean, we understand where each other, where we like to be on the court. Always get Isaiah in his sweet spot. He always gets me, and just we were battling every day from open gym to practice every day. And then I learned a lot from Dave Mack and John Wicke. They taught me a lot defensively, just going at them, and then I just try to help that with him transitioning, coming to Babson, teaching him some things, the defensive aspect, which was pretty hard at first, learning the way we played defense, but then he was able to pick it up and make an impact right when he came from the first game all the way to the end of the season. So, I mean, we have a really good relationship on and off the court, and that's one of my best friends on the team. So, yeah.
Great. Well, thank you guys, and congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.